The government has watered down its planned changes to temporary work visas. Under the final changes outlined today, migrants earning up to $41,000 would be considered low-skilled and forced to leave New Zealand for at least 12 months after 3 years of working here. Here's our Deputy Political Editor, Chris Bramwell.
The Prime Minister Bill English indicated on Monday the government would take another look at some of the immigration changes after complaints from businesses, particularly those in the regions. Dairy farmers raised concerns about the requirement for migrant workers to leave for 12 months after 3 years. The stand down remains in place, but the $48,000 threshold has been lowered to $41,000. The Immigration Minister, Michael Woodhouse, says the changes confirm that higher paid and higher skilled migrants should be allowed to stay longer.
But it did highlight a concern that the definition of mid-skilled for those people who were higher qualified and on a pathway to higher level jobs may be penalised by this by being required to stand down after 3 years. So we've taken the pragmatic approach by reducing that threshold, and that'll mean a few more people will have that pathway to residence if indeed that's what they want.
Asked what constituted a few more, Michael Woodhouse clarified the numbers.
Between 6,000 and 7,000 people on today's numbers who would otherwise have been subject to a 3-year stand down will no longer be. They are people in higher occupation codes and who earn between $41,500 and $48,900.
The New Zealand First Leader Winston Peters was scathing about the changes.
Well, it's unfocused, it was haphazard, it was knee-jerk, never going to work, and as a consequence they take the wrong areas of the country whilst leaving Auckland and the massive population movement there untouched.
Labour's immigration spokesperson Ian Lees-Galloway says the government has tinkered with what was a bad policy in the first place.
I think it has the potential to drive down wages. I think using wages as a proxy for skill is a poor approach anyway. What we should be doing is focusing on high-skill immigration, filling the genuine skill shortages that do exist in New Zealand.
Michael Woodhouse says the changes were never intended to restrict migration.
The economy does that, and the last thing we want to do is choke off the number of people to fill those 10 or 11,000 new jobs that are being created. But I do stress we do want to make sure that all organisations and all sectors are working hard to make sure Kiwis get those jobs.
The changes to temporary work visa conditions will be introduced in a month. Atu i te whare parimata mō te hōtaka o te ahiahi nei, ko Chris Bramwell ahau.